It don't matter if you believe Hadley, because the judge did. Doesn't matter if you don't believe Megan, because the judge did. It doesn't matter if you believe Cassie, because... Okay, thanks.
Is getting denied every time they try to set a motion for a new trial. So they trying to pull shit out the air like, okay, let's do this now. I'm not about to keep going with y'all. Y'all defending somebody who didn't even take the stand and defend themselves. Y'all going back and forth about facts. Y'all could go read real shit. Like, y'all literally believe anything if it's bold and in all caps. Like, go read something that's going to take you a minute to sit down and have a good read. Like, go read something that's going to make you have to do some critical thinking. Not a thing that is curated by bots and blogs that hate me. Like, y'all need to sit down and have a good read. Like, imagine somebody saying that they did not commit a crime and not defending themselves to the T. Imagine y'all saying somebody is following the street code, not snitching. Are you snitching or are you not snitching? Because y'all trying to pretend like Kelsey shot me. Kelsey didn't me, and I really wonder why her main problem with me was, you won't tell people I didn't shoot you. I was like, Kelsey, I don't want to talk about this on social media at all. But now you won't even get online and defend yourself. So that really just proves my points. Either you took some money or your life is in danger. Like, why won't you get online and say, because this is what y'all care about. Y'all care about online because the case already won in court.
The
ins and outs of the case between Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez is not really all of our business, except for the fact that there seems to be mounting evidence that yet another black man is put behind bars and is innocent. And that's where it really matters to all of us, particularly black men. Did you know that almost 1,600 men have been exonerated of crimes? And of those 1,600, 2/3 of them are black men. National Registry of Exonerations annual report finds majority of exonerees are people of color, and official misconduct is the main cause of wrongful death convictions. The National Registry of Exonerations published its annual report for 2023. According to the report, the registry recorded 153 exonerations, 84% were people of color, 61% of the exonerees were black. The most frequent factor in their wrongful conviction was official misconduct. 75 homicide cases, 85% of homicide exonerations in 2023 were marred by official misconduct. 3 out of 4 death row exonerees were people of color, and in all instances, official misconduct was the main factor. A look at the Innocence Project's website is a reminder to all of us black men that it's very easy for us to end up, no matter where our station is in the social order, behind bars. And if enough people corroborate a story that seems like the truth, it's very possible that we could end up in a situation where we are innocent and sitting in a jail cell, much like Tory Lanez. Nearly 60% of people that the Innocence Project has helped to free or exonerate since 1992 are black. The cases of black people exonerated from M convictions are 50% more likely to involve police misconduct than those of white people exonerated for the same convictions. Intentionally suggestive witness identifications occur twice as frequently in cases of black and Latinx exonerees as they do in cases of white exonerees. For those that say if you can't do the time, then don't do the crime, otherwise fight for your innocence to the end, there's this reality of the American justice system. When prosecutors offer a plea bargain that would allow a person immediate release from pretrial detention, there is a strong incentive for an innocent person to agree to plead guilty and accept responsibility for a crime they didn't commit. Nearly 25% of those exonerated since 1989 pled guilty, and nearly 75% of this number are black and brown people. After a conviction, wrongfully convicted black people can fight for years or decades before being exonerated. The National Registry of Exonerations has found that it takes black people an average of 3 or 4 years longer than white people to be exonerated. A look at the percentages from the Innocence Project is a simple statement saying that any person calling for a black man to be thrown in jail without concrete evidence is not an ally of black men. 58% of the people freed or exonerated by the Innocence Project have been black. 52% of the people exonerated since 1989 have been black. 75% of those who were exonerated after a guilty plea were black and brown people. And when they say people, what they really mean is black men.
Doesn't matter if you don't believe Megan, because the judge did.
There are some in the Democrat Party that are calling for an AOC Jasmine Crockett ticket in 2028. It's too early to be even worried about such things, but even if that's their ticket, I will hold judgment until I know what their platform is. If they're running on things that I care about, then I might consider voting for them. But there's a key word. It's called tangibles. No tangibles, no vote. Speaking of tangibles, the most pronounced black politician of the day is Jasmine Crockett. It's hard to argue that. And what might she be concerned with most in this time where many men are considering the innocence of Tory Lanez, and if anyone in the Congressional Black Caucus is concerned with it?
Listen, we all know what it is. That's why they hired everybody from Fox News, because all they trying to do is put on for a show. This is not The Apprentice show. This is supposed to be about the American people, and I want us to start to refocus our attention on the American people and stop demonizing every daggone person that ends up in custody of ICE, because they are not necessarily demons just because ICE decided to round them up.
I'm not going to sit here and say that what Representative Jasmine Crockett is doing isn't a noble cause, but it's not pertinent to me and my vote. That said, I'm, just like many other black men, are looking for allies, someone that's going to stick up for us. We don't care which party you come from. If she wants to fight for ICE and people that did not come into the country in the way that is mandated, even if it's convoluted, that can be her fight. But no one can come and tell me that if I'm going to relate more with people that are getting tracked down by ICE or people like Tory Lanez. Because that's a question that's easy to answer, regardless of who's coming to help.
For a woman that champions the fact that she is a minority, I'm also a minority woman, but she has done nothing for Hispanic women and children that have been trafficked at the U.S.-Mexico border, because the Democrat Party has really used this open border talking point in an effort to sway Hispanic American voters, which are now the largest voting minority in the country. And so, you know, their open border policies are hurting all Americans, specifically the black communities, specifically the Hispanic communities. And yet, if you criticize her for, doing anything about that, if you're not a minority yourself, they call you racist. And so I will be very critical of her on her foreign policy, on her border perspective, and her failure to secure the border.
So let's talk about Harris first. You said you had interactions with her. What have those been like, and if they were one-on-one?
I actually had one very well-known and actually documented and filmed interaction with her where I ran into her at the airport back in, I think it was 2017 or 2016 when she was running.
Hi, ma'am. How are you doing today? Hi, how are you? Hi, I'm the director of Hispanic Engagement with Turning Point USA. I want to know about the children that you were saying that are at the border right now. Wait, would you answer this question real quick? No, I'm taking a picture real quick. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're getting behind me and you're saying that you're fighting for women. No, I'm not going to back off. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm asking her. She's saying that she supports Hispanic.
Those ladies asked her to take a picture.
I don't care. You're in my way. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Before you walked up.
She is damaging what is happening to Hispanic women and children at the border because she's promoting family reunification, which child sex is directly You're not commenting on this issue. You are directly impacting the Hispanic demographic in a negative way. You are directly impacting what is happening with the children in this country, and you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a representative, representing women in this country. Shame on you. You're not going to win.
2022, singer, rapper Tory Lanez, convicted of shooting performer Thee Stallion after a party at the Hollywood Hills home of Kylie Jenner. Here's the story. They're at the party. After the party, they get into an argument. Lanez tells Thee Stallion, dance, and shoots at her feet like a cowboy movie, hits her. Proof? Testimony of Thee Stallion, her friend Kelsey Harris, and DNA evidence on the weapon that convinced jurors to convict. Pretty simple, right? Maybe not. Turns out that DNA, only a 0.01% chance that the DNA is from Lanez. He's always maintained his innocence. He was sentenced to 10 years, so this is really about the testimony. This just wasn't a case on my radar until now. Why? Anna Paulina Luna. She is a representative from Florida. You see her here on a regular basis. She says she's got new evidence, says it wasn't him. And she joins us now.
Now it all makes sense why this random congresswoman from Florida is going so hard for Tory Lanez.
Specifically, how I got involved in this case is I actually am friends with Amber Rose. And she.
Now it all makes sense. she's officially not a credible source. Amber Rose don't even like black women.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability, and so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose. And the reason why I took a particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine. And also too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're seeing is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They were actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, first and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty egregious, that the way that this was handled, the way that it was. I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved, obviously I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it sets a really bad message when you have someone of his stature, and also to someone that is as influential as he is, that's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think he'll get.
It would behoove me to say that Representative Jasmine Crockett and Vice President Kamala Harris running on a platform of helping people getting rounded up by ICE is not a noble endeavor. But all things considered, there are many things on this planet that I cannot control, and that's one of them. But moreover, there are things that I, as a registered voter, care about. And those issues are not it. I am black. I am not Latinx or whatever they're calling it these days. And for members of the Latino Congressional Caucus, maybe that's an issue for them to fight for. But members of the Black Congressional Caucus, I think that they should be more worried about stories like Sean Oakman, on the cusp of the NFL until an accusation derailed his career. Or Brian Banks, very similar story, had his life rocked, basically because due process was not given to him. If someone in another party, in another area, has some reason, or even if it's politically motivated, to step in and look out for black men getting justice in the courtroom, I don't care what party they come from. If you're Tory Lanez in jail right now, do you care if it's a Republican or a Democrat that's standing up speaking for your innocence? The new part about black male independence is we are not beholden to a political party or a set of ideas simply because we've always done it that way. There are concrete issues that black men have. You can see it on the Innocence Project's website. And to hear, unfortunately, some black ladies, and I'm not going to say all, but some, maybe more than I'd like to see, say, well, the Justice Department said that this is the case and the judicial system would never get it wrong, especially when it comes to black men, and the court said what they said, lock them up. It simply means that they're not an ally for us. Not all black women, some. Anyone that's speaking that way is clearly not thinking that, especially in a representative case like Tory Lanez, where essentially, as more evidence comes out to say that he's innocent, even the people involved aren't fighting, including Thee Stallion, for his innocence. And as black men, right now, all we're looking for when we speak about intangibles are people looking to fight for us. Party be damned. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.